I'm here today with Christine Chandler, who is not only the Chief Credit Officer, she's also the Chief Operating Officer at M&T Realty Capital Corporation. Christine has been in the industry a long time, and she's also very involved with the MBA. In fact, she sits on our board of directors, and she's also on our commercial board of directors, leading policy decisions as well as setting priorities for our association. I am so pleased and honored to have a conversation today with Christine. Welcome.
Thank you, Marcia. Glad to be here.
So I know that you have been in this industry and obviously are very successful. Tell us a little bit about the road that led you to the seat that you have today.
Sure. So I just recently, last year, celebrated 30 years with my company.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I really started in real estate before joining the bank. My husband was a contractor building new homes, and I was working with him. So when my daughter was born, literally after the delivery, I'm scheduling painting contractors to come in. So I was always part of it, but then once we had another family member, I decided I needed to go get another job with benefits. So I got a job initially floating through the bank, doing whatever they needed just to get my foot in the door. This was back in 1991. And I just took whatever opportunity they gave me. And then there was an opening in commercial real estate, in the commercial real estate division. So I started there as an assistant loan administrator, almost like an asset manager would be today, and really just did whatever they asked me. And, I didn't say no. I said, okay, sure, I'll learn it. I'll figure it out. And it was took a lot of time to sometimes uncover the answers for things, but I had great mentors. And, lo and behold, I never ever dreamed I would be, in the position that I'm in today. But I had sponsors and mentors and hard work.
Mm-hmm. And hard work, obviously that's one thing that resonates for a lot of women, right? We work really hard. And do you believe that you were noticed for the work you did, or did you have to develop that skill of making sure you tooted your own horn without blowing it so other people knew what a great job you were doing?
I think the latter. I did have to really make sure that people knew that I was part of a project, or that I was part of, a success for something. I did get tapped several times because of that to do another, moving into the mortgage corporation from the commercial real estate group. And then I went back to commercial real estate and then back to the mortgage corp. So I never said no. And it was very fulfilling. My career has been very fulfilling.
Yes, and I think what you just elaborated on is what we hear so often, and you're proof, right? If you make sure your good work is known, more work will come and more opportunities will come. So you have to not only raise your hand for those opportunities, but you also have to make sure people know all the great work that you've already done. And you learned that early on. Mm-hmm. A lot of us don't learn it as early on, and obviously it served you well.
Mm-hmm. And ask for what you want.
Ask for what you want, yes. And women have a hard time asking. Did you ever have a hard time asking for what you want?
Of course.
How did you overcome it?
I think it was when I felt like I was overlooked a few times. Mm-hmm. I said to myself, I'm not going to let that happen again. And I'm going to speak up and not be afraid to speak up. Because I think you're right. Oftentimes we are afraid. And we just say, oh, okay, well, let that person get it. But you have to, really dig your heels in and say, no, I deserve this.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't get derailed by getting angry or watching somebody else get something. You were like, okay, I'm going to speak up for myself. I'm going to stand up for myself. And I think that's something really important, that we need to focus on ourselves, because the minute we start focusing on others, it takes away the focus that we have on.
And that's something you have to learn.
Yes.
Because I can't say that that's always been true in my career. So you do have to learn, and that comes with maturity, and it comes with, maybe getting your feelings hurt a few times and feeling like you were overlooked, and then you get the power and the courage to stand up for yourself.
Can you tell me about a time when you might have had to manage through a very difficult conversation as you're trying to ask for what you want, and how you navigated through a difficult time like that?
I would say probably it's been financial, asking for more money. Because oftentimes when you're in one company for a long time, you don't always get the financial recognition. You might get the recognition for the position, but you don't always get the financial reward. And you have to be able to say, you know what, I'm worth it and I deserve it. And you don't want to have to go to another company and get an offer. You want to be able to go and talk with your manager and say, tell me why I'm not deserving of this, because I think I've done. And what I do is I create like a a list of accomplishments, and you have to be prepared before that conversation. You can't go into that conversation just saying, I just want to ask for more money. You have to be prepared and have the data to support why you deserve it.
That's exactly it. As we talk about in mPower, you need to have the data, and you need to make sure when you go in that you're not only presenting the data of all you've accomplished, but also the data around what the market is paying for someone with the skills that you bring to the table. And so it sounds like it worked really well for you, but it's hard. And the other thing, you may not get it the first time, right? It's an ongoing process and negotiation. And I think sometimes as women, if we don't get everything, we think, well, we're never going to get it. And sometimes it's just a matter of saying, all right, but I'm going to come back to you in 6 months or a year, and I want to revisit this conversation or my compensation or whatever that is.
And what is it that you need to see from me to make this a worthwhile investment for you to have with me?
Yes, because it's not one-sided. It's always important to have the other side tell you what else they need from you. If you had advice for organizations that maybe haven't had as many women in roles like yours or moving up for the ranks, what do you think this industry needs to do in order to get more women into upper management?
I think it all starts with the early stages of recruiting. Our industry is largely focused, especially in the commercial segment, largely focused in young, or not young necessarily, but white males. And I think that part of what has to happen is that we need to tap into the youth, the next generation coming up, and not only look for the white men, but really be proactive and intentional to make sure that we are looking for women and people of color, and then sponsoring them. We need to make sure that we're not just bringing them in and letting them, just stall. We need to make sure that we are really reaching out, and as other women leaders, we need to, extend an olive branch to say, what do you need from us so that we can help you further your career?
Right. So I always like to say, when I look down, it's because I want to reach my hand down and help bring someone up. And I think it's so important if we want to make sure this industry grows and has diversity and really has gender equality, we all have to pay attention, and we all need to do that. Thank you so much, Christine, for stopping by today. And personally, I want to thank you. I know you travel to mPower events and you attend, and I just so appreciate your support.
Well, you are a wonderful hostess. The events are fantastic, well organized, and they make the person sitting in the audience leave just totally on a new path to do great things. So thank you for your leadership.